Hi, I welcome you to this video. This is part of a series of videos about learning C programming language from scratch. If you haven't watched the other videos, you can check out our playlist on this channel. Today we are going to be talking about getting user input. From most of our previous videos, we've always been outputting something to the console. However, today is somewhat different. We are going to be letting a user input something and we will output whatever they have inputted. Without a lot of talking, let us get our hands dirty. We shall start by opening our code blocks. Alright, here we are, and to open our project, the one we ended with last time, we shall go to File, Open, and remember we saved our project to the desktop, so we shall go right at the folder, in the folder where I saved it, and then we shall click on this. This extension means it's a code blocks project. When we click it, our project opens right away. So this is the project we were working on last time, and we ended on here. We shall delete all this code to do something new today. Well, today something I would like us to begin with are the comments, because we left them out last time, but they are very important. If you didn't watch the video, the one we began with, I advise you to check in our playlist and find the video which has C programming 0 to 1 and then #1. First of all, what are comments? Well, comments those lines or the statements that you like to use to describe your lines of code. For example, let's say you say, last time we looked at how to declare integer variables. Let's say you've declared a variable integer a. Let's say integer a. Your variable is a. Now this name is not so meaningful, and we advise that you write more meaningful names. Perhaps you wanted to mean let's say a computer. So instead of writing a, you can say computer directly. Now you've named the variable called computer. However, perhaps you would like someone who will come to take care of your code, or maybe yourself, if you come back later after a long period of time, you would like to remind yourself what this variable meant. So you can write these double slashes in front of this variable and say, this is my variable called computer. Well, your comment can be more meaningful than the one I've written right here. Perhaps to describe more about what your variable is doing. I'm just giving an example of what comments look like. Now this is called an inline comment because it can only be in one line. However, sometimes you like to write comments in more than one line. There are two ways to do that. You can simply click enter and then come right here and create more forward slashes, two of them. They should be two forward slashes, and then you continue writing. This is the second line. This is the second line. This is one way of writing comments in two lines or in more than one line. However, this is so tiresome. Let's say you want to write more, let's say 10 lines. You have to continue writing these again and again. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 6th line. Well, this is a bit tiresome. There's another way we can do it. Instead of writing all of this way, we can start with a forward slash, then we put an asterisk, and then we come down here, we put another asterisk, and then we end with a forward slash. Now in between here, we can write anything without having to type any other forward slashes or anything. That means this is a comment. Inside here, we can write inside here that this is a multiline comment. So usually when we want to write multiline comments, we shall use this format, and if we want to write inline comments, we shall use this format. These comments can only go in line. What comes after the forward slash is that comment, and whenever you want to write a new comment, you have to write another forward slash. However, with this kind of commenting, as long as you start with a forward slash and then put an asterisk, and then at the end of the content you want to comment, you also put an asterisk and then end with a forward slash. This will be a comment, a multiline comment. Alright, great. So we're done with comments. So right now you can go ahead to comment your code. Commenting is that thing you do if you want to keep track of something. Perhaps when time goes by, you may forget what it was. However, if you left a comment, it's easy to look at the comment and understand what it was about. Alright, great. Enough for the comments. Now, let's go to today's main topic. In today's tutorial, we are going to be looking at something very interesting. Up to now, from our previous lessons, we've been looking at outputting things to the console. But wait, can't we get input from the user? Can't we have someone type something through the keyboard and then we get it into our program? Of course we can. There is a special function. As long as you've included this library, the standard input output library, we can get input. And the function good at this, that the one that we usually use, there are a number of them, but one of them that's very good at this job is called the scanf function. The scanf function, what does it do? First of all, let's say you want your user to input an integer. Say variable, create an integer variable user input. Now what you do, you come inside here and then inside the double quotes you expect the user to input an integer. This one means that the user is going to put an integer. Now if the user has inputted an integer, you must provide where you want that integer to be saved. Now you have to pay attention to this. Instead of bringing this and putting it here just like that, you have to go ahead and in front of it you put this symbol. This symbol is called the ampersand symbol. And what does it mean? It means the address of this variable in memory. Do you get that? Well, at this moment, what you need to understand is whenever you use scanf, after specifying what the user is going to input, for this case we have specified that the user is going to input an integer. After specifying that, you have to go ahead to provide the address of where the input is going to be stored. Now this is the name of the variable, and to get the address you put an ampersand sign in front of it. Now to print out what the user has inputted, we can use our printf function. We've been using it from our previous videos. You can check out in our playlist to see how we have been using it if you have forgotten or if you didn't watch that video. So now how do we output it? We shall come and say the user input, the user input is, and then put that to mean that we expect an integer, and then in front here we want to put that. Now take note of this. For printf, we don't include an ampersand sign in front of the name of the variable. However, for scanf, you have to include the ampersand sign in front of the variable name. If you don't include it, there will be errors in the scanf. And if you include this in the printf, there will be errors as well. So keep note of that. Scanf and printf, the usage of the ampersand sign in the scanf. We can make use of what we've just learned, that, and comment this out and say, don't forget the ampersand symbol. Don't forget the ampersand symbol. And then you can come here and say, print out user input. Alright, great. Let's run this program and see the output. we can use this the same way we've been doing. We can either set build and then run, or we can simply click build and run. Alright, now this program has run successfully, and now you see in our previous videos we've been seeing that whenever we run, we have something down here, some few words saying that it has finished running and then how long it has taken to run. However, now we don't have anything. This means that the program is waiting for us to input something, and since we've told it that we are going to be inputting an integer, we shall come right here and input an integer. Let me input 89 and then click enter. Do you see that? So awesome. It says after getting the input I've inputted, says the user input is 89, and then it ends the execution of the program. Well, let's do it again. So looks interesting, right? Now instead of 89 today, let us put 75. Wow, do you see that? So right now we can get input from the user and then output it. Let's input in some other value to make sure that it's working fine. Let us input a value, let's say 100. Great, you see that? So we can input values and then output them from the console at this moment. But hey, even if we can input integers and then output them, how about if we wanted to input characters instead of integers? What shall we do? Well, it's not hard. Now instead of an integer type variable, we shall say this time round user input 2 instead of, and we can call this one user input 1, input integer, and then come here, then forget the semicolon, and then input character. Instead of saying input character, we can say integer variable, and then copy this, delete this character variable. It makes more sense, so we have to change this one as well. Input character 1, user input 1, user input 1. However, now we want to input a character instead of an integer, so we can first comment this one out such that it's not treated as code, and then we come here, we repeat this, scan f, double quotes. Instead of D to mean integer, we shall write C to mean character, and then here we shall provide the address of where we want to save the user input, and that's the user input 2. And then we shall come here, I want to print out what the user has inputted. How do we print it out? Double quotes, the inputted character, inputted character is user input 2. Alright, let's build and run this. Like the first one, it's waiting for us to input a character. Let's input Q, click enter. Oh no, it's inputting nothing out. What's the reason? It's because here we've not specified where one output is gonna be inserted. Forgot that. Right now we can input Q and run. See that? We have the Q over here. Now you can go ahead and experiment with other characters and see the output. At this moment, let's move on to another thing. Up to now we've been able to work with characters and integers, but wait, how about if you want to input words, a whole word instead of a single character? In C programming, characters put together make up what we call a string, and a string can be declared in such a way we can call it we can call it string. And in front, if you want to input a string, you have to come here and put these square brackets. We shall talk about these more later in the future when we will be talking about arrays. However, for now, understand that whenever I want to input a string, in other words, many characters making up one word, more than one character to make up a word, we have to put the square brackets in front of the name of the variable, and we have to go ahead to mention the size of that string. Let's say we want to input a word hello. The word hello is 5 characters, so we have to go ahead here and put 5. However, for some reasons we shall understand later, it's better to put 6 instead of 5. Maybe to explain a little, the reason for that is because the way strings are stored in C, they're stored in such a way that after the characters that make up the string, at the end there is another character that is automatically inserted by the system to show that this string has ended. So whenever you want to input a character, make sure that you at least leave some space of one character to input that character that shows that the string has ended. Now, how do we input? We can comment this one out as well. This one out as well. Now, how do we input a string? We shall come here and say scanf. Scanf a string. You've guessed it right. We shall put s instead, and then come in front of and can put a comma and then put the ampersand sign, and then the name of the variable, which is string in this case, and then we shall print out that after the user has inputted it, the user input is, now this time around we expect a string, and this is the way we handle that. And then we come here and put string semicolon, and then build and run this. Let's input the word hello. Done that. Great. The user input is hello. But now let us make it more interesting. Let us request the user to input his name. First of all, we shall come here and say print f and say please input your name, and then let the user input the name at the same line as this sentence, and then after that we expect the user to input his name. But maybe some names are greater than 5 characters, so what shall we do? We can increase this to 20 since some names may contain more characters. And then you come here and say we shall greet the user. Instead of saying the user input, you can say hello, and then input his or her name, hello, his name, and then comma, welcome to C programming, welcome to C programming, and then put that exclamation. Now let's run this and see what happens. Please input your name. Alright, I'll input Ben 10. Hello Ben 10, welcome to C programming. You see that working in action? Now you may ask yourself, hey, we've not inputted any new string character. Why is it being printed on the new line? Well, the reason is simple. The scanf function automatically, after reading the string, it inputs a new line. After printing this out and then reading in the name by this function, this line will automatically be printed onto the next line. That's just seeing this amazing output. We can put here a new string character such that it appears more clear. First cross this and then run it again. Ben 10. Hello Ben 10, welcome to C programming. Alright, cool. So right now we can input strings, we can input characters, even integers. That is awesome. We have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. You can go ahead to play around with these, what you've done today, and try to test with different types of input. Try to input integers, let the user input 2 integers and then perform addition or multiplication or division on them, and do some other interesting stuff with strings. Your imagination is the limit. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video.